Hello, Yu-Gi-Oh fans. Welcome back to the King's Court. Now, this is the fourth video in the Locals Report series where I take a personal deck of mine and take it with me to my locals and compete in in the weekly Yu-Gi-Oh tournament and try to place as high as I possibly can. And then I come back here and explain it all my matches, card choices, everything in a story time format. As long as try to also show the card combos that I used, cards I might switch out, and overall deck ideas. Now, this is also a way for people playing the same deck could also share their ideas for the deck in the comments as well. So, sorry. This is the same deck profile, the same deck list that I used in the most previous deck profile of the channel. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and go check it out. But I did make a few tweaks. Now, not only did a few people in the comments, which for the record, thank you for commenting, mention the idea of possibly bricking with the Evil Hero package. That's something I also wanted to discuss here as well. The Ishizu tier element strategy is super crazy right now. That is a definite tier 0 format, which I don't know how many people watching have even used tier 0 formats. I've played in this game for a very long time, and I played against in I played in multiple tier 0 formats throughout this game's history. I was playing the game when, let's see, Teledad was the thing. I was in I was a freshman when, if I remember right, when Teledad was crazy, if I remember right. And I was also playing when Pepe was crazy, when Zoo was crazy, and if I remember right, the last really notable tier 0 format we had was Spiral. Anyways, so this isn't my first rodeo. I've seen this before, so when it comes to this sort of thing, people like us, well, yeah, if you're watching this, I'm assuming you also play heroes. But when people like us who play rogue decks tend to usually have issues with competing. So I noticed that a lot of people mentioning that the Evil Hero package is a little outdated. Well, not outdated. It's not the best time for right now. And I hate to say it, I honestly agree right now. And in case you guys don't know what I mean, let me see here. This. Uh, Now, this is the pretty much the same deck list that I posted about a week ago. But there are a few changes made that I'll get to. But the big difference is I did cut out the Evil Hero package. And in case you're new to the deck or not sure what I mean, the Evil Hero package is Evil Hero Malicious Bane, Evil Hero Adjusted Gold, and a copy of Dark Calling. Now, this is a very strong debate amongst hero players. Some people are still for it, some people are against it. But right now, I personally think, in my opinion, sorry, in my personal opinion, right now, I do think that right now is probably the best time to cut the Evil Hero package. Only because, don't get me wrong, Bane is a powerful, powerful card. But the problem isn't really in Bane himself. Well, okay, he can be an issue because a lot of the tier element decks run Super Poly, and Bane is a big Super Poly target. But the other issue comes down to Dark Calling and Adjusted Gold themselves. The issue with that is that the Ishizu tier element deck, allows the player to mill both players' decks during the other player's turn. So, let's say hypothetically, we shuffle our decks. Let's is this an example? We shuffle our decks, get ready to play, and let's say hypothetically, we open up a random hand. Let's say one, two, three, four. Not bad. Now, let's say one of the cards we opened up with was Adjusted Gold. So, It would be adjusted gold, and the other four don't matter. So let's put them right here. The issue with this is that if they're going first, or if we're starting off our combo, they could have us mill the top card of our deck. And there is a possibility that that card could be from the top of the deck. Let's say we're mill one, two, however many numbers, and that last card could be Dark Calling, or vice versa. It could be that, or it could be gold in there, or heck, we could not even start off with either of them, and they both could be at the top of the deck, and they both get milled. So they're both dead. That's the issue right now that I really was afraid of when it comes to the tier elements. So as a result of that, I decided to cut it. So that's the big difference in this deck that I played at my locals. And I did manage to get second place, but it's because I was having an off day that day, man. I was making a lot of mistakes. Like the most hilarious one was during my it was 4 rounds Swiss. I In my fourth round, my opponent, who was a super cool dude, we were both laughing at this. I tried to hard summon Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer with Polly, but I kept making the mistake of trying to fuse in my hand Destiny Hero Denier and Ferris. Yeah, I kept trying to. I don't know why I thought at the moment why I thought that worked. I don't know why that I thought that. I'll get to the reason why how I ended up in this scenario, but I was making a lot of mistakes. Like I also missed the timing for Cross Crusader when he summoned back a Destiny Hero. Because when he's Link summoned, you can bring back a Destiny Hero. But I misplayed and I forgot to call to bring that right here. I misplayed and I forgot to call to bring back a Destiny Hero from the graves because that only happens when he's Link summoned. So I messed up. I do think I cost myself a couple of rounds. Like I only lost one round, but I feel like I could have done a lot better if I didn't mess up like that. So that's on me though. This is how we learn though. It's part of the reason for this series. I want to be able to record go over my games and figure out ways that I can improve myself and basically do better next time. So that was a mistake on my half. So the 4 rounds I went, the first one was against Rika. Yeah, it was a Rika deck. It was a plant based deck. And here, no. Rika. Sun Avalon Rika mixed. It was basically a plant deck, and that deck was crazy. But here's the thing: what I managed to do was I opened up the best field, what used to be the best field. Now, before I get to the rest of the matches, what happened was here's the difference I made. So, I forgot to go over this. What happened was because I cut the Evil Hero engine, I needed something else to replace it. So I mentioned this before in that deck profile. If you want to go check it out, go check it out. I cut Bane, and I replaced him with Destiny Hero Dystopia. And honestly, I like this. Destiny Hero Dystopia is a good card. He requires 2 Destiny Hero monsters to fusion summon, and when he special summon, you can choose one of your Destiny Heroes and just burn your opponent times its level by 400. And that's really good for going game if you're about to go game. Like if you're going into time, I mean. So that's really useful. Plus, it has another ability which is pretty handy. If its attack points are altered in any way, pop a card in the field. So if you have like your Dread Decimator, you summon hit Dystopia to one of the arrows it points to, right away you can pop a card. So it's pretty cool actually. Now that was the easy part. I like Dystopia, and right now I'm going to keep it in there. The hard part was, what do I put in the main deck? I could have put I could have put more hand traps, and I was thinking maybe I could put like two DD Crow and and I might honestly try that out later. But I decided to try something else out. I decided to take in Rivalry of the Warlords. Now, if you saw now you most watching this, you guys probably figured this out from the thumbnail alone. But Rivalry of the Warlords was a great card actually to tech in because here's the thing: beforehand, when we couldn't really use this card at its full capability due to the fact that all evil heroes are fiends, but every other hero, Destiny, Elemental, Vision, Extra, they're all warriors. So they're great for this card, but because of that, I didn't want to like try to flip rivalries, and I had Bane out, and I messed up basically. So that's why I wasn't playing it at first. But I decided to go into this tournament and play this card, and a strong reason why I'm glad I did is for this card. Now, anyone watching this who is a big hero fan, like who loves the hero archetype like I do, most likely has seen this card already. The one of the really well known hero players on YouTube, I basically you could say, is D Time, and he's the one who basically showed us the light, GX reference, for the Destiny hero Dark Angel. Now, in case you don't know, Destiny hero Dark Angel, if you have 3 or more Destiny hero monsters in your grave, you can send this card to the grave and summon a Destiny hero from your grave to your opponent's field. Now, what you do. Now, here was what I was thinking. You use him, and you can pick himself, and you pick him to go to the field to your opponent's field. Not only that, if they try activating a spell card, it'll negate and destroy it. That's great. Also, what I was thinking was this. Originally, now beforehand, before adding rivalries, the it's pretty much agreed upon that for right now, at least the way well, okay, for me at least, I've seen some other people like like want to end on a different field, but for me, the best field you could possibly end on, for me at least, with the way I built my deck, is to end with Destiny Hero Plasma, DPE, and Dark Law. Now, it's pretty much agreed by a lot of other people that this is probably one of the best fields you can open up with going turn 1. Here's what I was thinking of the way to add to that. Now, I used to play zombies, and I still do play like once in a while, like online for fun. They used to have this crazy combo where if you have Zombie World out, which, if you, in case you don't know, if you have Zombie World out, all monsters in the field and in the both opponents' graveyards, our players' graveyards are now considered zombies, which is good for like your anti-meta reasons. But what they used to do was use rivalries while they have a monster on the field. Now they're stuck and can only go into zombie monsters. This is kind of similar to that. What I wanted to try doing, and I feel like this is probably the best new opening field, you have all 3 of your big guys. You flip rivalries while Darklaw is on their side of the field. The reason why this is so powerful, yeah, the reason why this is so powerful, and this is probably why this is going to be like, personally for me, the main board I try to end on now, is because not only do you have DP, so sorry, not only do you have your DPE for popping, and as well as lowering your opponent's attack points, which again, that happened again during my games. A lot of people forgot that DPE lowers their monsters' attack points. You got your Dark Law for the graveyard, and you got, as well as if they tried adding cards to their hand, and you got your Plasma, Big Daddy Plasma, for the skill drain effect. Now with rivalries, not only now they cannot summon other monsters besides like one type, but because this is going turn 1, and now they have Dark Angel on their field, and you flip rivalries on them, they can only summon warrior monsters now. That is nuts. That is crazy. Not only can they not summon anything else, like, because here's the thing, you can't even attempt to summon other monsters, like, from your extra, like, let's say hypothetically you were playing, I don't know, it's that like anything that plays Salamangreat Armorage or Link Karibo. You can't even attempt to summon that because that's a Cybers monster. You can't. Yet you have to be able to go into Warriors. So basically, what you got to do, you got to get rid of rivalries first. So that is nuts. The only downside is that usually when you summon Dark Angel into your opponent's field, you can negate a spell card, but because you have Plasma now, and now that Dark Angel's on their field, its effects are negated. That's the only downside, really, but honestly, if you ask me, the plus, like, is this worth it? Like, not only do you have this crazy build, like, field of monsters on your field, you got your DPE, Dark Law, and all them. Now your opponent's stuck into warriors. And let's be real, there's not really a lot of other warrior decks right now that are really getting a lot of play. Like I think the only other warrior deck I've personally seen lately is maybe like Noble Knights some once in a while sometimes. But even that like has really been getting a lot of hasn't really had a lot of attention lately. So this is just nuts. So I feel like this is probably the new main opening field I want to try ending on. And that's why I decided to take in rivalries. And rivalries really came in handy in all my games. Like I swear, like I pretty much opened it up like okay, at least maybe in like 3 out of 4 of the matches I had, I opened it up with it, and it did cause my opponents some grief. So that's good for me. So it's a little side tangent. But yeah, so yeah, I managed to open up this field onto my opponent who was playing, like I said, Rika and like a plant deck, and I pretty much got it. And unfortunately, this is the one match I lost just because I never played against Rika before. So basically, he managed to play this field spell that would like tribute to my own monsters when we went to game two, and I didn't open up so well. I opened up double Twin Twister because I had a feeling they wanted to go first. So I wanted to make sure like I was ready for back row. But no, I just totally bricked that game. And in game three, also we would like almost had to go into another time, but he barely managed to squeak by. But he got the win. I'm not gonna argue that he got it. Really cool guy though. Really cool dude. So that was the one match I did lose the entire thing, and then so basically it was a 2-1, 2 wins, two losses, 1 win so far. So then match two, I played against. I have never, this is a matchup I never thought I'd see. I played against my opponent was playing Magical Musketeers. And I had never seen that deck for the life of me. That was crazy. I did not expect that. But so I went first, and honestly, I just went and opened up and just went into Big Daddy Plasma. I didn't know what he was playing at the time, so that's the thing. Since I just went for the tried and true method. I opened up and I managed to go Plasma DPE turn one, and honestly, it was fine. I managed to get the game because he just couldn't get past Plasma. And so we went game two, and I managed to get the whole match 2-0. He had some pretty interesting cards. I didn't know Magical Musketeers like had special unique trap cards that they could activate from their own hand. That was cool actually. But I basically managed to go into Plasma, DPE, Dread Decimator, just managed to get the win. He did de-barrier me though, game two. He did de-barrier me. So Plasma was gone. I mean, not Plasma. DP was gone. He also DD Crow DP before he. Yeah. I managed to try you turn one. He normal summoned a monster. So I attributed and activated DPE because he already used his normal summon, so I thought it'd be okay. No though. He basically DD Crow DPE, so he was gone, and then he basically set a bunch of cards back in the back row. And then as soon as I started my turn, he flipped over D barrier. Did the perfect thing. It's called fusion. So that sucked. So what I did was I ended up instead going Stratos. to blow up his other sets, which was I think one was another D barrier. I'm not sure, but basically I managed to set that up. DPU was gone. So what I did was I had Stratos. Luckily, I didn't use up everything. Like I didn't like use up all my resources because that's an issue I have sometimes. Sometimes I like blow through all my like resources and go crazy, summon, summon, summon to try to make the best build possible instead of trying to like be more moderate and try to like prepare in case something happens. So luckily this time I did, and I didn't actually use up my let's see, my Destiny Hero Denier that was still in the grave. So because I had plasma, I just summoned it to the field, and I managed to go into Cross Crusader because that's a good thing I played two Cross Crusaders. I went into Cross Crusader, used its ability, brought back Denier again, and yes, I did use Denier's ability to put back Malicious. So I managed to go Cross Crusader, brought back Denier again, tributed, searched off for a. I forgot what I searched, but I was already gonna get game soon, so I managed just to do that, and then I banished the Malicious and to go into the second one, and then I linked off Cross Crusader and Malicious to go into Dread Decimator, and now basically I had two super juiced up monsters, and I managed to get game right there. So it's pretty good actually. I had never seen Magical Musketeers in my life before. I heard about the deck tons of times. Like I always hear people joke. Like he even referred to it as this. He called it, or they called it the worst, yeah, worst Sky Strikers, shittier. So yeah, the more terrible Sky Strikers. So hey, I thought the deck was cool. So good on them, honestly. So that was the second round, and I got 2-0. So good for me so far. So then we go round three, which ironically started as soon as the second round ended, like my game ended, and I played against someone who's friends with channel member Michael, and I never played him before. I seen him around before tons of times, but this is the first time I ever got to play him. So he was playing Tri-Brigade Zoo. Now, I really was not expecting that. I thought Tri Brigade stopped getting played, but he was playing that, and this honestly was pretty difficult because I had really not played against Tri Brigade in a while, and I never played against Tri Brigade Zoo, and I have an issue. I have a colorful history with Zoo. It's like I usually don't have issues with the decks people want to play, but Zoo has always been a deck I always had issues with. Just because, I don't know, maybe because it's too fast, or they could literally start off with one card and just go off whenever they want. I don't know. This is a me thing. So I got the win, but the game was crazy. Like every both we played to get 3 games, and 2 out of those 3 games he DD crowed free my DPE every time. So that stinks, but that was cool though on his part because I'm like he seemed like he was prepared to get rid of DPE. Now, game one, I managed to set up the field with Plasma DPE, and Plasma was slowing him down. Luckily, so he had to normal summon or summon this big Tri-Brigade card. I don't know the name. I don't remember all the Tri-Brigade names. He basically just had to crash with Plasma, so he had to waste a turn in order to get rid of Plasma. So after that, I had enough resources that I was able to still get the win. And then game two, I sighted, but he managed to get the win just because I opened up terribly. I opened like double Ferris and increase and just terrible, honestly. So he got the win. And then we won game three. This is the only time he didn't banish DPE. But how did I get that one? Oh yeah. I managed to go DPE and I managed to get Sunriser and Ab Zero on the field. So basically, if he did get rid of my monsters, he's gonna lose his monsters too. So I managed just to settle that. But the best thing is, not only did I manage to prevent his monsters, like thanks to skill drain, not skill drain, DP thanks to plasma. I decided to tech in since I wanted to go first, solemn, and I basically solemned his one monster, and that was good for me, honestly. So thanks to Solemn, I managed to get the win, and it was crazy, which was good too because during that game I opened up Hero Live, so I was down to 2,000 after that. So if he managed to hit me for 2,000, he would have got the game. But I don't know. That was game two. Game three was really weird. We both managed to open up crazy fields, but the problem was this is the first time this happened all the entire tournament for me. We went the time, so basically he gave me the win and I asked because we decided this because I asked him could he game me and he said he couldn't. And not only did I have plasma and a bunch of other stuff ready, I also did not go into DPE or anything like that yet, so I had them ready. So basically, I could have. He just gave me the game because we won the match. So that's how game three ended. Now match four was probably the most intense one. I was playing against Sprite. Yeah. So in case you just popping in now or weren't paying attention, the 4 rounds I played against Rika, Sun Avalon, Magical Musketeers, which is still crazy to see, but that was cool. Tri-Brigade Zoo and Sprite, but he was playing like Runic Sprite, so that way he could like banish the top cards of my deck. So that was crazy. And I was also thinking to myself, okay, thank goodness I cut out the evil hero engine because if he banished one of them, because one of the cards he did banish was a rivalries, so I knew one of those cards would have been one of them. So I would have been literally sitting duck if I was still playing that. So good on me. I managed to get the first win, but here's the thing: I managed to do the combo. I managed to get out DPE Plasma Dark Law with rivalries. Like I managed to actually open the field up. Unfortunately, I couldn't draw into Dark Angel, so I couldn't go the full combo. But this is already enough to give me game. He was already pretty much done after that. So we went to game two. He got it. I'm not gonna lie. I bricked hard again. I opened like double Ferris, no, and like Vion, but I tried to go in. Yeah, I tried to go Vion. Even he impermed me. I don't know. He Veilered it, and that was the only normal summon I had, and I couldn't get anything else. So he managed to set up his field, and he just overwhelmed me. So he got the game there, and then game three. Oh my god, game three was nuts. Now I got the win, but this is one of the craziest games I ever had. I really messed up like the combos because a problem I have heroes, if you've played heroes or you played against it, can sometimes take a while. I really was trying to speed through my combos, but unfortunately, that also makes me make mistakes. Like the faster I try to go, the more I'm going to make mistakes. I've noticed. So I ended up on a field of plasma and dread decimator. Yeah, I could have ended up with DP as well, but I messed up. So I'll explain how I messed up. He managed to get over it. If I remember right, he basically impermed. Yeah, yeah. No, no, not imperm. He did this thing where he negated my monster's effect and banished plasma from his hand or something like that. So I was dead. All I had in my hand, I had literally nothing in my hand. So what I tried to do was I tried to go Ferris. He impermed Ferris. And I was like, dang, that stopped my play. So all I could do then was just wait. Luckily, he couldn't game me yet. So what I decided to do was to see what happens. I drew Stratos. And this is where I messed up. I had Destiny Hero Denier in the grave. You see, what I wanted to do, since I already used up my malicious to go into, like I said, Plasma Cross Crusader, Plasma Dread Decimator, because, like I said, I was going too fast and I wasn't thinking properly. I used up my malicious, yes, but at the same time, thanks to Denier, I forgot that Destiny Hero Denier needs to be, its ability to summon itself back and shuffle back malicious. Yeah, yeah. Discard. Once per turn, if you have a Destiny Hero monster on your field or in your graveyard, I messed up so hard. I forgot that it also counts in the graveyard. So because I had a malicious in the grave, I could have brought it. I could have summoned Denier anytime beforehand because I had both, like I said. So I messed up hard. But I realized, you know what, this could actually give me the game. So what I did was, I did this. I went, like I said, I top deck Stratos. So I know his effect went through. This is late in the game, so we both were pretty much out of hand traps. I added Liquid Soldier, and this is what I did. I used Destiny Hero Denier's ability. I summoned it to the field because I had a malicious in the grave, and then I shuffled the malicious back into my deck. So now I had a live malicious I could use. So instead, what I decided to do, I went and not fused, linked off Destiny Hero Denier and Stratos, and I went into extra. This is why I keep this card. Extra Hero Wonder Driver. He'd never seen this card before, so I had to explain what it did. Wonder Driver is a nuts card for reasons like this. If you special summon a hero to the arrow it points to, you can set Polly back. I had used up Polly earlier, so I was able to get back Polly because what I did was, since I used Dangerous to shuffle back Malicious, Denier to shuffle back the always delicious Malicious, I had a live Malicious. So what I did was banished it, summoned the one that I just shuffled back into the deck, thanks to Denier, and summoned it to the arrow that Wonder Driver was pointing to. So as a result of that, I got to shuffle back my Polly. Then I used Polly and fused in my hand the Destiny my polymer. I used polymerization and fused Malicious and in my hand the newly acquired Liquid Soldier thanks to Stratos. And I went into Elemental Hero Sunriser. Now, this is actually the last match. Like, this is the last match being played. So we actually had like a small crowd of like 7, 8 people. So it was actually pretty cool. And then I activated its effect to get Miracle Fusion. Yeah, I managed to get Miracle Fusion. Where is it? Ah. And then I activated it, banishing Stratos and Liquid Soldier to go into the old school favorite Ab Zero. So I managed to make the comeback because, like I said, I had a DPE Dread Decimator, but it wasn't enough. Like I said, because I was going too fast, I made mistakes. So thanks to this, I managed to make the comeback. So I swung into his monsters, but I activated Sunrise's ability to blow up his card. So they all managed to get a direct attack. And so he hadn't taken damage yet, so this ended up being, let's see, 29, 54. He had basically like 800 left. In that ballpark, 800 left. I ended, and he couldn't do anything, and I got the game. Oh, man. So yeah, those were all 4 of my matches. So in retrospect, I could have probably like possibly gotten to the final. Like I got second, but I feel like I could have done better, only just because I kept making tiny mistakes that whole day. But this is how we learn. So those were all four of my matches. And sorry if I feel like I'm rushing through it, but basically that's all of them. And yeah, the rivalry package actually really did work. So I'm definitely gonna be playing this, try this build again, but I might make a few more tweaks. Like, sorry, I feel like my side deck could use some improvement. Like, if you want to know my side deck, go check out the most previous hero deck profile on the channel. If you want to know my side deck, but I might make some tweaks to that. But overall, I'm happy with the way this is performing, and I'll make sure to try to get more footage because, like I said, there's a lot of people who played our Yu-Gi-Oh locals, so I try not to be rude with the people around me, like, and try recording, like have my tripod and everything set up. But if I can, I'll try to get some and bring it here. So, in the meantime, thanks for stopping by.